Well, improving our fitness and our finances top the list of most popular New Year's resolutions this year. You may want to consider combining the two perhaps and focus on getting financially fit. You like what we did there? David Stryzewski from Sound Planning Group joining me once again with a few exercises to help get your finances in shape. I love this because we always talk about getting, healthier body-wise, right? But not really talking about our finances. So this is going to be great. The first step that you say is to set your goals. And I know that seems pretty basic, but what do you mean by that?
Well, just like if you're going to get into the gym, you got to identify, what are you really trying to accomplish? I would suggest being a little bit more specific than vague in so doing. And so things like this might be increasing our 401k contributions. If you have debt, let's look to eliminate debt. Let's maybe focus on a spending plan. Instead of using the word budget, focus on a spending plan here in the new year that are going to help us to sort of get some of this stuff on track.
The second step that you mentioned, a lot of us, when the new year comes, it's always just, you got to hit the ground running, right? You got to go quick. But when it comes to your finances, you say start slow.
Right.
Why?
Well, just like if you're jumping into the gym for the first time in a long time, you just don't go and crank everything out. You're going to be feeling horrible the next day, right? So the goal here is that we can have little incremental gains that can kind of condition us into being more financially fit as time goes along. So as an example, instead of getting to 10 to 15% of savings of every paycheck right away, if you're at 3 right now, well, let's just ramp it up to 5. Or 6%.
I see.
Or begin to eliminate and throw an extra $50 at the debt on a monthly basis. And so just do not get burned out right off the bat. This is a lifestyle thing, a conditioning thing.
Don't hit that 10 to 15% right off the bat. You gotta build.
It'll kill you.
That segues into your third step here, which is building a routine. And when it comes to your finances, I would assume that this is very key.
Sure, absolutely. And so, if you're going in, you need a real routine. Now, ultimately, most of us, if we're just even using the metaphor of going and working out, personal trainers become a really big deal. They can help you to establish a routine, make sure that you're hitting your goals, help you to quantify some of these things. A good financial advisor is just like a trainer in that regard. Sitting down, evaluating those goals, making sure that you have measurable results, things that you can do, and make sure that you continue to be on track. So it's a really important deal to find and hire someone that can even help to walk with you along the way.
It might be very helpful there. This fourth step, we're taking a page out of, going to the gym, as we've been talking about here, is burning off fat. What do you specifically mean by that?
Well, just talk about credit card debt as an example. The average Washingtonian with credit card debt has $8,318 of debt right now. And so what we want to do is we want to talk about diminishing that debt as soon as possible. One tip that I'll give you, you can use what's called a debt snowball. Look that up online. And you can just sort of, take a small one and then go to more higher interest accounts or bigger accounts. I also like to say if you're a homeowner and you've got some credit card debt, look at a home equity line of credit. As this is likely going to give you a much lower interest on that specific debt, you can also consolidate things in one place. So you can just throw as much money at one place as opposed to maybe multiple places at one time.
Great advice there. And then the last step here, I know this is very self-explanatory, but I want to get your take on this, is just plan ahead. What do you mean by that?
Well, as we're looking at the future, let's even talking about, fitness or whatever. So the goal is, where do you want to be? What do you want to do? For what reasons? What purposes? And ultimately, we think about planning ahead as retirement planning. In the financial world. And so we all know that we want to retire. We all know that that's an important goal for the future. And so what we want to do is we want to sit down and create a real plan. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act that just happened here in 2017 has created the greatest opportunity in any of our lifetimes to reduce or eliminate taxes in the future. So as we look at planning ahead, we want to be very intentional about where we're saving, how we're coordinating these specific goals and setting ourselves up for success. I can help people in the last hour before they retire, but man, if I got a runway 10, 15 years coming into this thing, it is a massive difference of preparation on how someone transitions to the future.
When you think about your finances, and this will be the last point here, is it probably safe to say that you got to think about it more of just like a marathon as opposed to a sprint?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It has to be a marathon. We have to be thinking, and by the way, in retirement, you might be retired for 20, even 30 years. And so we got to be thinking about this thing long term, especially because the number one concern of retirees today is running out of money at some point in retirement. So let's get that right.
It's a huge concern. David Stryzewski from Sound Planning Group. Thanks for joining us.
Pleasure's mine. Thanks, Brian.